Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. Today we're going to be discussing the upcoming movies of June, and there's a lot of them, so let's get started. June 2nd, Wonder Woman. The first major superhero film directed by a woman, Patty Jenkins, starring the talented Gal Gadot and Captain Kirk. For these reasons, it will be a celebrated movie despite any flaws it may have, but one has to ask, are the all-female screenings a step too far? Personally, I don't care what they do, as long as it doesn't interfere with me seeing it on opening night. There's going to be a lot of fantastical, mystical elements. It's going to be set in a time period kind of like the first Captain America. It looks like a really good film, and that's why it's my number 3 for most anticipated of the month. Also that day, Churchill. Brian Cox starring as Winston Churchill in a thriller set 96 hours before D-Day. Historical movies can be good, but many of them walk the line of slightly interesting or kind of boring. So if any of you see it, you let me know which one it is. The Exception. Christopher Plummer stars as Kaiser Wilhelm in Holland. Set during World War II, Jai Courtney has been sent to determine whether a Dutch resistance member has been planted as a spy in his home.
There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
What?
He then falls for a young Jewish woman who's played by the lovely Lily James, who won me over with her performance in Pride and Prejudice with Zombies. Jai. Hey Jai. It's her. Don't be fooled by that pretty smile and the sex she's giving you. This is important, Jai. Either love her and betray your country because the Nazis are bad, Jai, or don't and probably get killed. Either way, this movie has potential for great performances and possibly showing us a twist that we don't see through. And that's why I'm going to give it my number 5 because I ain't giving it to Transformers. Not gonna happen. June 9th, It Comes at Night. Starring Joel Edgerton, a horror movie about a family secure inside their home when an unnatural force has actually terrorized the world. They decide to help a desperate family that finds them. That was their first mistake. Looks kind of messed up but interesting, I might go see it. Also that day, Awakening the Zodiac. A couple finds footage of the Zodiac killer and uses it to track him down for the reward. But then the killer turns and starts hunting them. There's a lot of Zodiac movies, and I'm willing to bet that this won't be the best one. Maybe save your money and watch 2007's Zodiac with Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., and Jake Gyllenhaal. Next up, My Cousin Rachel. Rachel Weisz, Ian Glenn, and Finnick from Hunger Games. A young Englishman suspects his cousin of murdering his guardian and then becomes obsessed with her in all the wrong ways. Judging from the trailer, she did it, man, and she's gonna murder you next. Next, The Hunter's Prayer. Sam Worthington plays an assassin who doesn't kill a young woman and then is hunted for not completing his job. Look, Sam, I get it. I don't want to go to work either, but you're getting paid millions of dollars by bad guys to pull a trigger. You don't go screwing them over. Thank God this is a plot I haven't seen before. Like 100 times. Finally, something good. The Mummy, the start of the Dark Universe monster movies, starring the talented Sofia Boutella and Tom Cruise. Tom digs up on mummies too and puts the world in danger. This movie looks awesome. I love the hero, I love the villain. Just take my money already. This is my number 1 anticipated.
Please meet Princess Amunet. She will claim what she has been denied.
June 16th, 47 Meters Down, originally titled In the Deep. I'll say this, with the dozens of shark movies made these days with horrible CGI, this one actually has really good looking sharks, mostly because they use stock footage of real sharks. This movie has Mandy Moore, if that means anything, a decent amount of quality 90s TV acting, a concept that runs dry despite being set in the ocean, and an ending that will hurt your brain and is so predictable. Claire Holt stood out in this. If there was a bright spot, then maybe her. Also that day, Once Upon a Time in Venice. Nice cast, Jason Momoa, Bruce Willis, Femke Janssen, John Goodman. Some decent supporting actors, and Bruce Willis plays a detective from LA. He's really expanding the type of roles he chooses, as he usually plays a detective from New York. He's seeking out a gang that stole his dog, which is kind of a ripoff from the movie Keanu, and is kind of a ripoff of Keanu from John Wick. Same director as Cop Out, another Bruce Willis film. This movie looks like it's got a lot of jokes in it from the trailer, but none of them really make you laugh. It doesn't look like they invested much in this, so my advice to you is to wait till it's free. Next, Rough Night with Scarlett Johansson. A bachelor party goes wrong and they accidentally murder a stripper. They really should have waited a year, so it's been a full 20 years since they ripped off 1998's Very Bad Things with Christian Slater with the identical plot, and I suspect this will be worse. Also that day, All Eyes, with a Z, on Me, a Tupac biography. Do we really need another biography? I mean, I wish they'd just show us where he's been hiding all these years. Also up that day, Cars 3. Now, I never watched any of these, but I hear the third one is as good as the first one, but not as bad as the second. Also, Redivider, or Killswitch. It seems like they haven't decided on a name yet. It's one of those sci-fis where the Earth is split into two different Earths and Dan Stevens must protect his family. It also has that cute hooker from Skyfall. I hope they didn't spend too much as it looks like a better fit for the small screen. June 21st, Transformers The Last Night. Now, I'd be excited if it was the last movie. Wahlberg returns with Laura Haddock as his arm candy, Anthony Hopkins, Josh Duhamel, Stanley Tucci, and the lovely Sophia Myles. They even dragged poor Ken Watanabe for this. I hope he gets to say.
Let them fight.
This movie's gonna insult history like only Michael Bay could, by putting Transformers at the round table of King Arthur in medieval times, and offending everybody by hanging Nazi banners on Winston Churchill's actual home. If there's a bright spot, I think we're gonna get Hot Rod in this, but as a general rule, I'll only see these movies if Matthias buys my ticket. So the ball's in your court, Matthias. June 23rd, The Bad Batch. A dystopian love story set in a wasteland of a community of cannibals. Starring Suki Waterhouse, Keanu Reeves, Jason Momoa, Jim Carrey, and my boy Diego Luna. It looks odd, but I'm always looking for a good cannibal movie. If you can't wait till it comes out, there's always 1999's Ravenous. It's great. This is my number 4 as it looks all kinds of messed up, but will have the potential to be original and entertaining. June 28th, Baby Driver. Also starring Lily James, Ansel Elgort, John Hamm, Electro, Kevin Spacey, and John Baratheon. But most importantly, and why it's my number 1, is because it's written and directed by Edgar Wright, the man who brought us Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End. I just love this style of film. Now, the plot's about a getaway driver who's coerced into doing a heist that is destined to fail.
So what is it you do?
I'm a driver.
Oh, like a chauffeur. Anyone I'd know?
I hope not.
What is your name?
Baby.
Your name's Baby.
It's not going to have the same comedy styles as the Simon Pegg movies, because the man's got to branch out a little bit, but it's still going to have lots of laughs and great action. I can't wait. June 30th, Despicable Me 3. Now, I've never seen any of these, mostly because
I'm an adult!
Also that day, The House, a Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler comedy about starting a casino in their basement to rebuild their daughter's college fund. I'm sure it's going to have a few laughs, but worth watching in the theater? I doubt it. Next up, Amityville, The Awakening. Awakening the Zodiac? Amityville, The Awakening? Thanks, Star Wars Force Awakens. I guess Awakens is the new reboot or remake word. In this one, yet another family moves into this house not knowing its bloody history. Worst real estate agents ever. Why watch this one when you could watch over the 30 other Amityville movies? Also that day, The Little Hours. Alison Brie, Dave Franco, and a rated R comedy. It's about a young servant who takes refuge in a convent full of crazy nuns set in the Middle Ages. This should have a lot of inappropriate humor.
Beautiful morning, sisters.
Hey, don't fucking talk to us. Get the fuck out. It's not fair. You're just stuck here with all these bitches.
No, that's sodomy.
I thought sodomy was just when someone would penetrate the rear.
That's also sodomy.
Right.
Did you do that?
I did.
And another one that day, The Beguiled. At a girls' school in Virginia during the Civil War where the young women have been sheltered from the outside world, a wounded Union soldier is taken in. Soon the house is taken over with sexual tension, rivalries, and an unexpected turn of events. I wonder what Colin Farrell's motivation was for this film. And finally, Inconceivable.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
A woman who takes her daughter and escapes an abusive relationship to go live with a couple who wants to fill out their family with her daughter. I only mention this because of the Inconceivable joke, and it's got Nick freaking Cage. Well, that's it. That's my list of movies that are coming out in June, and there's not a lot worth seeing. Maybe 5, but mostly probably 3 or 4 that actually look good. As always, thanks for watching.
Winged eagle.
It's an old Indian myth from the north.
Man eats the flesh of another. He absorbs the other man's strength.
Now, one man must choose
We need others.
between having dinner
Not me.
and being dinner.
Good gracious.
There's no guilt. I gotta eat. But it's tough making friends.
Eat to live. Don't
live to eat.